But first, we got to talk about this big breaking news. Check out this story we got from Yahoo Finance. All of JBS's U.S. beef plants were forced shut by Cyberattack. Let's go for the quick bit here. They say a cyber attack on JBS SA, the largest meat producer globally, forced the shutdown of all its U.S. beef plants, wiping out output from facilities that supply almost a quarter of America's supplies, of America's beef, when they say supplies. All the companies fed beef and regional beef plants were forced to shutter, and all other JBS meatpacking facilities in the country experienced some level of disruptions to operations. Now, this means pork as well. According to an official with the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union, JBS did not immediately respond to a request for comment. And I also want to point out, most people don't know this. There's a chicken shortage. Did you hear that?
So now there's a double shortage of just all types of meat.
I think there's ridiculous shortages, chlorine shortages, computer chips, weird. GPUs, for obvious reasons. There's shortages of cars. There's shortages of chicken. And what else it's a bunch of weird stuff that's you can't get. But this is important because there's a shortage of chicken. And the first hint of chicken shortage, the media went, oh, it's because of Popeyes. They made the chicken sandwich and now everybody's buying it. So there's none left. Seriously, that's what they said. And I was like, that's not true. No one's buying that much chicken from Popeyes. But they're like, but it's the chicken war. KFC's got a chicken sandwich. And I'm like, but all they sell is chicken. Well, but Popeyes. I'm like, it's Popeyes chicken. That's all they sell. And they're like, well, Burger King's always had a chicken sandwich. No one is going to these fast food restaurants and being like, give me 10 chicken sandwiches. So I thought that whole thing was weird. Then I covered this a few weeks ago. When you look at local news, what do they say? Chicken shortage, chicken shortage, chicken shortage. Restaurants can't get cooking oil. Restaurants are charging more prices, higher prices. And I'm like, why isn't this at the national level? Why doesn't anybody know about this? How come it's only the small towns that are saying, hey, you can't get chicken? So something weird is happening. I wonder if it's worse than they actually say it is, because I'm not gonna get conspiratorial or anything on this one, but there's a cyber attack on Colonial Pipeline, which shuts down the biggest oil pipeline in the country. And just before that happened, some people were saying there was a massive leak of oil. Some people have said if they paid the ransom to the hackers within 3 hours of the hack, why did they shut the pipeline down? Why did DHS come out and say there was no shortage when 87% or 83% of gas stations in DC had no gas? They blamed it all on people panic buying, which some people did. But I'm like, I don't know, man. Is it possible the media is just lying to us?
That is totally possible, yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
You wouldn't say.
Yeah, right. So now we're here, and the White House is saying this. The White House is worried there could be a major meat shortage soon.
Soon, huh?
No, but this is crazy because there's already a shortage on beef. It's not even. This is crazy to me that they're saying this, and I wonder why is this happening after the shortage already hit. So I posted this thing on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it, but there's a barbecue shop not too far away. And 2 weeks ago, they put up a sign saying, due to the increased price of beef, we can't sell it anymore because the price per beef doubled. And they said it was because gas has gotten so high, it's impossible to get beef. So I'm like, we have a bunch of farms around here. And so when we went out to try and find farm meat, the shops, all the farmers were like, yeah, we're struggling to get beef. The regulators are not letting us, harvest meat or whatever. It's being restricted. So I'm like, it's kind of weird, man.
The word they phrased it, a major meat shortage, makes me think maybe we're about to see something we've never seen before, at least in this generation.
Eat the bugs.
With the other shortages you were talking about, is there reasoning behind that? I think you said the chips make sense. I've been paying attention to that, but I think you said chlorine. Is it because production was stymied in 2020 and now we're seeing the net results of that? Or is there a different reasoning per one?
I kind of think, what's the best way to describe it? The system broke, and the establishment is desperately trying to bail water, but what they're doing is making it worse, right? So they the economy gets shut down by all these different governors with the COVID lockdowns. That is like a freight train going full speed, just stopping dead in its tracks. What happens? Well, all the carts derail and fly off the tracks. It doesn't just stop. You can't start that train back up. So what people don't realize when we're seeing this stuff, have you seen these fast food restaurants like McDonald's offering $1,000 sign-on bonus?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? Nobody wants to do the job. People see that stuff and they're like, oh, isn't it crazy that, McDonald's is offering all that money? And then what you hear from a lot of these like younger leftist types is maybe if they paid a living wage, people would want the job. What they don't realize is Biden is giving everybody $300 per week bonus not to work. So people don't want to work, but what they aren't seeing is, so they're like, so pay more money. Okay, well, you can't just pay more money. They're trying. What else it is, you can see fast food restaurants. You can see people aren't going to McDonald's, aren't working at McDonald's. What you can't see is they're not at steel mills either. You can't see the farms where people aren't picking the crops. You can't see the people who work the beef, not there either. So it's not just McDonald's, it's across the board. People aren't taking jobs anywhere. They got a bunch of money and they don't care. So this is crazy. Like it's a weird thing that's happening. At the same time, we get this: the media telling everybody to eat cicadas. All right, don't eat. Have you seen these stories?
No,
don't eat cicadas.
I just don't want to eat one.
Well, you shouldn't. They're parasite. They could have parasites. They're nasty. Have you heard them scream?
Oh God, no.
Have you heard? You haven't.
Not up close. What does it sound like?
Yeah. So you know how you go outside, you hear the noise from the cicadas.
Yeah.
That's all of them at the same time, but it's their wings. They're not really screaming. Oh. When you find one and you pick it up, it flaps its wings and you hear it go. And it's like really freaky.
Oh, that's the vibration from the wings fluttering.
Yeah,
wow. That's why I grab them by the wings.
Super creepy noise, man.
Whoa.
Anyway, the media's been pumping out articles like crazy, telling everybody to go eat these bugs. And now we got one from the Atlantic that was kind of honest about it. They say, unfortunately, some cicadas taste like nature's gushers. If you must eat them, go for air fried. Dude, they're gross.
We made cricket bread.
Yeah, and it's like
different.
It was under. What did you think?
I see.
Yeah, underwhelming.
Underwhelming.
Not great. Not horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it bad. I would just say like you need it for a specific kind of food. Like I think it would work with a meatloaf.
Yeah,
of some
savory for sure.
Umami.
I wonder. We didn't use like 4.5 cups of the cricket flour. We just had like 1 cup of cricket flour to like 3.5 cups of white wheat flour, but it was definitely noticeable that it's something going on.
You got to get ready for the.
I bet
for
it's
eating
so
the bugs,
good
man.
for you too.
It is. It's got
Full
like
protein.
twice the B vitamins and protein of beef. So you got to eat the bugs, man. That's the future.
Well, going back to supply issues, cicadas only come up like what, once every like 13 years or something? Isn't that
there are cicadas year round, but the big surges are
Cicadas
like
every year.
Yeah, there's cicadas every year, but you barely see them. You'll hear a little bit. This is Brood X, where it's just like insane. The 17-year cicadas are nuts, and we've been feeding them to the chickens. Chickens love them. Bucko, our cat, was just sitting there like really slowly, just mauling one. He's like eating
gross.
it and like taking his time with it, and because cats like that when it's still alive and it's like struggling.
Ugh.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I brought this one up just to be like, as an aside, we got these meat shortages coming, and they're telling people like it's time to eat the bugs. I kind of feel like a big problem with what's happening is, for one, Joe Biden is doing this unemployment boost. They're doing the child tax credit, so they're giving people money like crazy. Nobody wants to work. There are supply side issues. Then at the same time, we get these cyber attacks, and that's why I kind of feel like it's all kind of weird. I'll give you some historical context about the idea of conspiracies real quick, and then we'll go to the next subject. But when the Gulf of Tonkin incident happened, that was when the U.S. claimed to have been attacked, and so we were forced to enter the Vietnam War. Never happened. I guess historians now say it's not true, that it was a false flag, or there's no evidence to claim that we were attacked in the Gulf of Tonkin, and it was likely just made up so that we would enter the war. When that happened, people had no idea. Like, imagine you're like sitting in your room and then all this stuff is happening in Vietnam and you have no idea. And then a week later you find out. Or more importantly, like imagine the Revolutionary War. You're sitting in your house, just finished, farming or whatever. And at that moment, they sign a Declaration of Independence 400 miles away. You have no idea. You find out a month later when a postal carrier shows up. You're like, oh, we went independent last month, I guess. All right. So what's happening right now, which I find interesting, is that the media wouldn't be telling us if there was a very serious conflict happening, something that was targeting our critical infrastructure. They wouldn't be telling us if something, like right now, there could be a very serious thing that just happens. There could be another cyber attack. Case in point, an insurance company got hit by a cyber attack by ransomware before the Colonial Pipeline.
Yeah,
we didn't know about it. They never reported it. So this kind of stuff could be happening. We got no idea. And what's crazy is the media will tell you you're a conspiracy theorist if you pontificate on why is it that we have a meat shortage, why is it that people aren't working, and then a meat plant gets hacked. The weird thing to me about it is Why would hackers go after oil and meat production? Wouldn't they want to go after, I don't know, an insurance company? Or banks?
The grid. Electricity.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
why
that'll be the
why
next
the
one,
grid?
electric grid. That's a
So
good one, though.
so many people are dependent on it.
Yeah, but they just want a quick ransom, right?
That's what
See, it sounds like you're saying it's an act of war against civilian population.
I was just thinking if you went for the most damage, wouldn't that be your goal?
If you so the hacker group came out and said like we didn't mean to affect society this way. So if you're trying to make money to be a millionaire, you don't want to shut down an oil pipeline. You need the gas too. You want to eat a cheeseburger same as everybody else. You just want to be rich.
Yeah.
So why go after meat and oil instead of like a financial institution? Unless there's something going on that we don't know about, which is gonna get worse.
There's the theory that the market was crashing anyway, and that they people were happy to use the COVID lockdown as an excuse to start printing massive amounts of money and just expedite the crash ultimately. So if that was the case there, then we see like a meat shortage. So maybe they're expediting that by trying to hack it. But then that just leads towards malice. I don't know if it's like a malicious hacker or a government agent that's doing it to disrupt like a Chinese thing, or if it's just easy targets.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.